I spent my entire life in churches that said that God is the Father. God is referred to as He. All of the identifiers have always been male. All of the characteristics have always been male. All of the attributes of God that reflected godliness were male. Unless you talked about the fruit of the Spirit, but then those things felt kind of girly. So nobody necessarily connected them to the character of God, though it was assumed that we all understood that they kind of sort of were. But were they? God took me on a beautiful journey where I asked her, who are you? And how do I reflect you? How am I an image bearer of yours? What does Imago Dei have to do with me as I live in this woman body, as I birth children, as I nurse children, as I cuddle them, and as I try to figure out what sexuality is post having 4 children? And she met me close. She whispered to me and showed me verses in the Bible that referred to her as a warrior, but it was connected to womanhood as her connecto. Qualities of God that reflected power and strength were connected to womanhood. Not men exclusively, but womanhood. There's something beautiful and powerful and enormous, this immense strength that comes out of womanhood. And that quality we got from our Creator, God. Typically when you say God and you attribute God to female characteristics, quote unquote, you get a lot of pushback. If I say she, all of the patriarchal Christians are going to come barreling down on my head to say, God said God is Father, God is He. But at the same time, we acknowledge that God doesn't have a body. God is spirit. God is without gender. My son blew my mind a few months ago, and he was like, so God is non-binary. And I was like, wow, yeah, you're right. God is not confined by the limits that we understand as gender, because God is spirit. So when we build an entire religious system based on the male attributes of God, that leaves women on the outside of that understanding of God's character. So, in my relationship with God, I have been shown that God has characteristics of all of us. We are all made in His image. We are all made in her image. And both of those statements are equally and powerfully the same. They're equally true. So I decided to start referring to God as she and her because it reminds me that I'm made in the image of God. When I am feminine, whatever that means, I'm made in the image of God. When I lean into my masculine energy, as they like to say, I'm still reflecting the character of God. So God can be she and he at the same time. And that's okay. If you're not sure, just ask her.